Hello, and welcome to Explore Maple Grove, the podcast that takes you on an exciting journey through all the wonders of our beloved town. I'm Shari McGuire, your local realtor and dedicated explorer, and I'm thrilled to be your guide today. Joining us on this adventure today is Alyssa Faith, who is the owner of Alyssa Faith Photography. We're thrilled to have you here today, Alyssa, and we can't wait to dive deep into your journey and learn more about your thriving business in Maple Grove. So, Alyssa, why don't you start by telling us like your photography journey? Because that's always interesting to see how people get into that.
I actually started when I was in high school. My mom was a photographer.
Oh,
So I would kind of follow her around and just be her little helper. And then she ended up moving for her job. So I am just on my own. I didn't have a camera, I didn't have anything because I was using all her stuff. So one day I was just like, I'm gonna go buy myself a camera and started taking pictures of my dog, of my boyfriend, of pretty much anybody I could take a picture of.
mhm.
And come fall last year, I started to get paid gigs. And this January, officially started my business and have been trying to branch out into weddings and just get more under my belt. And
Mhm.
I'm just a newer photographer. So anything I can do. Usually families and seniors are what I do the most of, though.
Okay. I bet that's a lot of fun to do. The families, you got the little ones there. Kind of fun
Yeah.
to keep them wrangled, though, I
Yeah.
bet.
I used to be a preschool teacher, so I kind of have that expertise there.
Well, there you go. That helps a lot. When you get like my son, oh my gosh, I can still see him. We were doing his 3-year pictures at Weaver Lake Park, and it had rained a lot. So it was big, giant mud puddle, like river kind of mud puddle. Beeline right for it. And he ran right through it. I'm like, great, we haven't even taken pictures yet. So on all of his pictures, his little corduroy pants have dirt on them, the sand that had been drying from him
Yep.
running through there. But as part of the story, he was very good at being a boy when he was little. So
Yep.
funny. Well, so what are your goals for this year?
My goals, my first goal was to book my first wedding, which I actually have coming up in August.
Oh, good.
Um, After that, I would like to continue to build my portfolio, and do mostly seniors and weddings
Mhm.
and some pet photography as well. So I have a partnership actually with my apartment that I live in right now, to do some pet photography here. And if that goes well, then we'll continue to grow that partnership into some fall mini sessions and winter mini sessions and probably do seasonal stuff like that and grow from there too.
That's cool. People love their pets and they are willing to spend a lot of money on their
Yeah.
pets. So that what a
Yep.
to get that partnership going. Good for you. I'm quite impressed because other people, I know there's just so many people that have excuses and you have results. So good job, Alyssa. That is awesome to hear. Um, so what would be like a myth about being a professional photographer that people think is true, but it's really not true?
I think the biggest one is that people think we just point and shoot the camera and there's nothing else to it and that it's easy. That is a big myth. There's a lot of back end work. I do a lot of beforehand work, getting to know you. I send questionnaires. So I know, especially for seniors, what are your hobbies? What sports do they play?
Mhm.
Where do they go to school? So you can get the right colors and everything like that. So there's a lot of back end to start a session, and there's the actual session, take the pictures, and you also have to do all the editing and everything after that and make sure everybody's happy. And my favorite part is that other than shooting the pictures is the editing.
Okay, that's good that you love to do that. It can do so much more than years ago when you didn't have digital. So
Yeah.
that's pretty neat. How about some advice you'd give to someone who's starting out as a business owner?
Just keep going. I struggled very hard at first. I was charging way too little for way too much. But I have gained some clients that have grown with me, have come back
Okay.
multiple times now that will pay the correct prices.
Mhm.
And I have made many photographer friends as well that have helped me out immensely. My biggest thing is join Facebook groups. Join
Mm.
your local Maple Grove community page, which is what I am in and advertise there, advertise in wedding groups. If you're a photographer or any other type of wedding vendor, get in those wedding groups because those are really big.
Yeah,
And you might just make some friends too.
exactly. And that's nice to support each other. You know, you guys understand when you just had a rough day and go, because you can't really go on Facebook and say, oh, this is a really rough day. You know, you got to keep the
Yeah.
happy face on for people on Facebook
Yeah.
that are potential clients. What customers say they love most about working with you?
I think that it would be definitely with my family is my patience. I used to be a preschool teacher, so I am very patient with young children. And I would say also my positive attitude. I am a generally happy person. I don't get angry very often. I don't get sad very often. I like to have fun, and I think that's what people like about me.
You know, I would certainly think that being a preschool teacher would give you an advantage over other photographers who haven't done that. Because if they're not around little kids much, that's hard to know how to
Yeah.
get them back in, you know, and get them to look at the camera and pay attention and smile when you want them to. And so that's a gift that you've got that I think could set you apart from everybody else in the crowd and really help you make good waves.
Yeah. I do think that one of the things that I do is in my packages, I don't put time limits
Mm.
on my photos. I put a photo amount limit and then you can buy more.
Mhm.
Um, but I just have a session fee. If it takes us 20 minutes, if it takes us an hour, it just as long as it takes you to get comfortable in front of the camera, have your kids be comfortable, your dogs, your seniors, whatever it is, I I'll be there.
I love it that you're not racing them because that is crazy. You're trying to get all these kids lined up and the dogs and the parents looking, and that can be a little nuts. But when you get the final finished product, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, so what would you say that you love most about Maple Grove?
Definitely the scenery. There's a
Mhm.
lot of great parks and the community is really great. I've posted multiple times in, like I said, the Maple Grove community page on Facebook, which is actually where I found you. Um, and it's just been a great community to be a part of and a great community to support as well. I joined the Maple Grove photo contest and I entered a few photos in there and then they reached out to me afterwards. They're still judging it, but they reached out for looking for photographers to volunteer time for National Night Out. And I
Oh,
love to. I would love to do that. So I'm working on getting that figured out. And I just love being a part of a city that just really embraces all their business owners and their people and also has awesome parks.
yes, for sure. That's a photographer's dream to have them so handy.
Yes.
That's awesome that they reached out to you too. You mentioned that you had entered the contest, but that they reached out to you. They like your work enough to say, hey, can you take pictures for us for National Night Out? Fantastic opportunity for you to get seen a lot more. So
Yep.
congratulations on that. I just think I got goosebumps. You're going places. I mean, really, I'm so excited for you because there's so many entrepreneurs out there that just they don't want to put in the work, you know, they want the dream, but you're doing it and you're being creative, and it's going to be fun to watch you grow your business. So it was so nice to meet you, Alyssa. I appreciate your time today. And so if you have a senior, she mentioned seniors, she likes to take their pictures, and those are pictures that are getting booked right now, and her calendar is already starting to book up. So if you have a senior, you should definitely give her a call, and I'll have her contact information in with the video here. So thank you, Alyssa, and thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Shari McGuire, your local realtor and passionate explorer of all things Maple Grove.